You may have missed this story, so I want to bring it to your attention. I think it's critical. Last year I spoke about the terrible tragedy of three wonderful, beautiful Jews waiting at a bus stop before Shabbat. Two brothers, the Paley brothers, Asher Menachem and Yaakov Yisrael, 6 and 8-year-old brothers. A young man, Asher Letterman, who had just gotten married, rammed by a terrorist and killed on Erev Shabbat a few weeks ago. Someone sent me a beautiful link. There was a gathering after the Shiva was concluded for the two brothers in Binyanei HaUmah, one of the larger stages in Jerusalem. The mother spoke, the mother of the two boys spoke. She's a real special lady, a bastion of faith and strength while her husband is still sedated in the hospital in serious condition. And there was an amazing moment, and I'll include the link as well, and I encourage everyone to watch it. It brought tears to my eyes. There was an Israeli artist from Migdal HaEmek, very far in northern Israel. And he comes on stage bearing this very, very large, beautiful illustration that he drew of the two boys. There's a picture of the two boys that now has become quite well known. Netanyahu apparently asked for a copy of it for his office, and the Israeli ambassador in the UN held the picture in front of him, and he stood up asking for a moment of silence and berated the UN holding the two pictures. Look what the terrorists have done, taking these two young boys. Picture of these two brothers smiling, very big, beautiful faces. And this Israeli artist was so moved by these brothers and by the strength of the family that he, on his own, drew a beautiful sketch, a portrait of these two brothers, a very large painting, and he presented it to the mother on stage and said, I don't know you, and I'm not from the same community, and obviously we're different, but I felt in my heart that I just couldn't look away when I saw the picture of your two boys smiling at me in this photograph and what was lost. I just couldn't turn away, and I had to do something, and this is my contribution, my humble contribution. It's a very moving video, and I was in tears, and it shows that, again, continuing in this theme of the last 2 weeks, first the terrible earthquake in Turkey and Syria, and then last the terrorist attack in Jerusalem, and the one before that in the Yaakov, the shooting on Friday night. We just must take the messages, and here is a fellow not connected to the family, not connected to the community, perhaps very different in his beliefs and certainly in his looks, but he just felt something, his neshama, his soul felt drawn to this event, and that he had to connect in some way, and this was his way of doing it. And it was so moving that he presents it to the mother, and he looks at the mother and he goes like this, and he says, and he humbly bows and says, "My respect to you," and she's so moved, you can tell, and he quietly and humbly walks off stage. It's so powerful. My friends, Purim is coming up, the time of our joy. We're now in the month of Adar, and the rabbis tell us that when Adar enters, we have to increase our joy. Let us increase our joy. Let us increase our love for each other. Let us connect to the greater Jewish community around us. So hopefully we don't have to connect to them in such terrible times, in such sad times, and only in times of joy and happiness. Happy Adar and Shabbat Shalom.